shall we talk about the base token a little bit? Does anybody have any strong thoughts before I give my thoughts?
What is that?
So there's this L2 called Base, related to Coinbase, and they decided today to announce that they are exploring a Base token. Now, what this means in the context of Coinbase is that
They announced that they're thinking about an announcement.
yeah. So this means that they'll probably launch a token over the next 6 to 18 months.
Cool.
But it could be pretty exciting because I've done transactions on Base, which means that I could get an airdrop. But I guess like in the context of ETH, is this bad? Is the number one question. Number two question is this bad for Optimism and Arbitrum tokens, ARB tokens? And I guess the number three question is, how does this work with the coin equity itself? If anybody knows anything about this, I'd love to hear.
I think it's interesting. I mean, it's a great way for Coinbase to monetize. I imagine that they're a more conservative organization. So right, like, finance, is obviously beneficial for launching BNB token and owning a lot of it and watching the valuation go up. It really helps your balance sheet. Binance gave a lot of fee revenue at one time. I think it was 50% to burn BNB token. I think in the ideal state, Coinbase does something like a BNB or like an FTT with the base token. I think that would be great. But I wonder if, I just wonder how risk averse the entity is to getting experimental with this token. I also think, like, I have my doubts, right? Like, the base and Coinbase team really promoted the Zora token, which was, a meme coin. Like, they're clearly okay with that structure. Like, I think, worst case scenario is that it's a meme coin. I assign a non-zero probability to that.
You assign a non-zero probability that they launch Base as a meme coin or as a non-governance token, I guess, like non-utility.
Yeah. I'm not saying I think they will, but I think that there's like a non-zero chance they're just given their historic support of, base-related meme coins. Though I think, probably a pretty good chance that you get like an FTT-like structure. I think that'd be great.
FTT-like structure being that they burn it.
Yeah, that they siphon a portion of the revenues to either buy back the token, and then they add bells and whistles like market makers stake a bunch, and then they get lower fees.
Yeah,
I think that's their
let's continue.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing with specifically like the Coinbase and Kraken tokens is like they're going to be the two exchanges that are actually like public equities and also have tokens. Every other exchange has a token already, and they literally just kind of like, make it their in-house, easy to pump coin. Like, obviously, like a lot of them also give it to employees as pseudo equity, because like there's not really like, active liquidity for equity of like OKX or like Binance, Bybit, any of these things for the most part. So they just kind of shove it in the token for the most part. And I mean, we saw that a couple of weeks ago with like OKB or whatever. They just woke up one morning, decided to burn a bunch of it. Token price goes up. To your earlier question, Block, though, on like whether it's bad for Ethereum or like other L2s, I guess you could maybe make the argument it could be bad for Ethereum if they actually choose to use it as like a native gas token. Because I mean, it's really kind of hard to paint the picture now, like how L2s are like, how do those accrue any sort of value to like ETH, the asset itself? It seems like all of them are moving further and further away from that. I don't know how much it would like affect like Arbitrum and stuff like that. Like, I think it's kind of like too early to tell, and like whether or not like someone would stop using Arbitrum and start using Base just because they have a token. Who knows? Like, unless like there's active like incentive campaigns. But I mean, this was like inevitable. I just wish that Jesse would like stop teasing it. I think the Base team is like, they love teasing. They love like saying like, like it's just for fun. Like, we're just experimenting. We're just trying stuff. It's like, just like, I don't know, if you showed like a bit more, concise effort in a project, and like this is our aim, like this is our vision, I think people would probably be able to rally around it a little bit more. But maybe the looseness of that strategy also attracts like some more kind of curious builders where it's like, yeah, I'm curious too, like this seems the right environment for me. And maybe they're trying to tap into more like the kind of traditional like Silicon Valley audience there. But I mean, it's just I'm glad they at least announced it, but I think it could be kind of weird for like a company that like has like a pretty large public equity already.
Yeah.
Because like if they do take like revenue and like buy it and burn it, like I mean, if I was a shareholder of Coin, I'd be like, I wanted that money. Why is it going to the? And that's like the token itself slaps some sort of premium on the equity too, and like there's no saying that like it's impossible. We'll see, but I think that's like just kind of it'll be a weird one for them to figure out how that works. But like I don't know how Kraken is thinking about this. Like obviously they announced Ink a while ago, but I don't know if any of you guys know about Ink or have used Ink. I've checked it out.